Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Rest. In this video, I want to go over the Deathless armor piece. Now, I know a lot of people don't really use this armor piece, but I honestly think this is one of the best in the game that you can use right now. It has some crazy potential, and that's kind of what I want to go over in this entire video. Now, I did make a build specifically with the Deathless. If you guys would like to go watch that, it is my previous video. I will link it in the description. It takes advantage of everything I'm going to go over in this video, but it is just in build format if you guys would like to go see a build. And it is a Clawbringer build, so I definitely would recommend watching that if you do want a Clawbringer build. But before we jump into it, I want to say thank you all so much for 15,000 subscribers. That is a crazy milestone I never thought I would hit. With all you guys' continued support and all the faces I see keep coming back, I truly thank you all so much. This YouTube journey has been amazing. It has had its ups and downs, but I seriously cannot thank you guys so much for all the support. And since we hit our milestone on 15k, our next milestone is going to be 20k, and I hope to have you all on this journey. And if you are new here and enjoying the content, consider subscribing and dropping a like. It really helps me out and our community grow, and I truly appreciate it. But anyway, let's jump right into this video. Obviously, starting off with the Deathless, it says reserve all but one health for training 150% as war capacity, then war regeneration delay is reduced by 50%. Okay, so as you see, just starting off, your health is reserved to 1 and you get a lot of shields. That's pretty self-explanatory. So if we actually take the Deathless off real quick, we're gonna see that our shield is gonna have a recharge delay of goes 3 seconds base. So as you see, it recharged pretty quick with our shield right here. But if we actually put this on, as you're gonna see, when you shoot, it pretty much instantly starts recharging because of that 50% war regeneration delay. It is crazy fast, so it makes it very good for survivability because of the huge amount of shields you get on top of that war regenerating pretty quickly. Now, there's a lot of different skills that can interact with shields in this game. Specifically, something like the spell shot is insanely good because it has something like mage armor, so when you reload, you get like 10% of your shield back, which 10% is a lot when your shield is like 24,000 plus. You're getting a lot of shield back every time you reload. There's even skills like on the Berserker where you reserve some of your shields to get 150% more health. Then the Deathless is going to take that extra 150% health on top of the normal health and give you 150% shields. Even though it is going to be at half, you're still going to have a lot of shields and be very taken for survivability. And obviously with something like the Graveborn just having a bunch of health skills on their own, you're going to be able to take a big advantage of things like the Deathless, but that is just for survivability. Now, staying on the topic of survivability with the Deathless, there is actually amulets in the game. So when you activate an axe skill, you're going to restore 50% of your ward over 2 seconds. So this is going to be very good because if you have a axe skill, you can kind of just spam. For instance, let's just put Clawbringer back on for the build that we were running. And if we have this hammer right here, what you could do is just throw the hammer, pick it back up, and your cooldown rate is pretty much already going to be finished. As you see, we have max shield just by throwing our action skill. This does not even have a cooldown from what it seems like. You can literally spam this all the time, and then every 2 seconds, 50% of your ward is going to be refilled. And once again, if you have 21,000 shields, which obviously can be improved more with skills, 50% of that is 10,000 shields. So every time you throw your action skill, you're getting 10,000 shields over 2 seconds. And that is just ridiculously strong in my opinion. It is crazy good. And with the amount of spammable action skills you can do in this game, especially with something like the Skull Warden, you're gonna be able to have a bunch of survivability. Now, enough with survivability. Let's start talking about the damage that you can do, specifically with only the Deathless. Well, I guess you can do it with other things as well, but it's just very easy to proc it on the Deathless. And that is things like this anoint right here. If we read it, it says enchanted when health is below 50%, you generate 5% maximum health per second and gain 30% damage dealt. Now, the maximum health generation is literally worthless. You're not going to really be doing that at all. But having that 30% damage dealt is going to be active at all times. The Deathless will proc this, and since you're at 1 health, you're below that threshold, and you're always getting 30% more damage dealt. Now, you might be thinking to yourself, you could just take another anoint, which obviously you could, but a lot of the anoints, say like on here, on axe skill start, you get 40% increased damage, which is good, but it only lasts for 10 seconds. And there's other anoints in the game, when you activate your axe skill, you get 35% more elemental damage, or spell cast ones, where you get a specific amount of damage. This one's on axe skill start, you increase damage dealt by 20% for 10 seconds. So having to juggle all the axe skill starts and spell cast rates can be a little tedious, but this one is just straight up, you get 30% more damage dealt. That's your entire damage, not just a specific, gun damage, spell damage, anything like that. 30% more damage literally the entire time just because you're on the Deathless. It is crazy strong. This anoint paired with a Deathless armor piece is just synergy out of its mind. It is crazy good. and the damage bonus you get is very, very noticeable. Now, the last thing you can increase your damage with is something like your rings over here. The best ring I would 100% recommend pairing with the Deathless is while health is less than 50%, effects are increased by 50%. So what this is going to do is basically take all those extra little stats. As you see, we have dark magic efficiency, SMG crit damage, and sniper reload speed, and it's going to actually buff those by 50% at all times, because your health is always going to be at 1 health, and this effect is always going to be proc. It's kind of like the shield, where since you're below that threshold, when you're below 50%, you're going to do this increased amount of damage. Well, the ring is down like that as well, and you can get 2 of these, obviously. And be sure to try to get as much benefit as you can that benefit your build. For this build specifically, I want shotgun damage, but I don't really have any on this ring, so this could be better. But this is by far the best ring to pair with something like the Deathless. And if you pair, this ring, the Deathless, this Anoint on top of a Harbinger or Infused Harbinger, you're going to have your shields up 24/7. You're going to have crazy damage increases just passively without having to do absolutely anything, on top of the damage increases you could already do if you want to, have on Axial Star Anoints. Because if you're trying to spam your Axial to constantly get Harbinger up, you're obviously going to be proccing these Anoints all the time on top of the passive damage increases, and you can do some crazy things with this. As you see, the synergy is insane. If you guys would like a more in-depth build breakdown, again, I do have a build on my channel that will be linked in the description. I would highly recommend you guys go and watch that, because it can do some crazy things. And then finally, we can just talk about, since it is a Deathless and you're getting a bunch of shields, obviously playing something like the Clawbringer is obviously very good, because they're kind of a shield based loadout. But having a specific shield that's going to pair really well is also very cool. There's a bunch of different legendary shields in the game that can do some crazy things. I think the best one probably is going to be the brand new Sham that's in the game. You get 80% chance to absorb bullets as ammo. Actually even more tanky than what the Deathless is already doing. But if you want some offensive based shields, you can do some crazy things with that. Just be sure to look at legendary shield effects that go with your build, and it will be increased even more, unless something like a Cursed Wit, where obviously having your shield down is giving you benefits. You don't want those. But if there's anything where your shield is active, you get a certain increase. This is 100% the best armor piece you can run for that. So that's just kind of a breakdown of the Deathless. I wanted to make this video just to let you guys know that it is not that bad of an armor piece. Again, I know I don't see a ton of people using this, but it is very good, and it can work extremely well in some builds. I would highly recommend you all giving it a try. But anyway, that's going to do all for me. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.